My clients have sometimes made more money as an Airbnb owners to their cleaners than they have themselves.
So this is my February calendar. This is now my March calendar. So if you can see my March calendar, this is just from one host. This is from one host only. I send invoices on the 15th and the 30th, and so twice a month.
So I've worked with over 3,250 properties all over the world, right? And I get to connect with so many people. And the interesting fact you'll hear sometimes is I spoke to someone in the UK, and his unit was in a place called Cambridge, and he mentioned saying, oh, Piers, we did nearly, like, I think from what I remember, £6,000 on revenue roughly. But he mentioned, oh, Piers, yeah, we did have a lot of guests check in, check out every 2 nights, 3 nighs. And I said, oh, great, okay. And I said, what profit did you make on that month? It sounds like you did great revenue. And he said, Piers, we kind of made around, I think, £600, £700. And I was like, hold on a second. And automatically my head was like, okay, well, good occupancy rate. You charged a good nightly rate because his property was like a 5 or 6 bedroom house from what I remembered. To sleep a lot, you know, it's a big property to be cleaned. And eventually I said, oh, how much do your cleaners charge you for a turnover? So that means cleaning fee, and then also you've got the linen services, right? And he was saying, oh, Piers, yeah, around, I think from what I remember, that's £205 per turnover. And I sat there going, wow, 10 customers, and that's £2,000 at least on that month. So the fact that they've paid that much money, them to make only £700, guys, this is a video for you to watch, and I really want to make you understand how the processes work, especially if you're someone who already owns a cleaning company. This is a video for you. Now, over the last few years, I talk a lot about direct bookings. I talk about a lot of people increasing their occupancy rate. All of that filters down to making sure that the cleaner, the housekeeping team, which is what you're about to start, need to make sure that you guys are 100% a power team in the business. For me, I have said numbers of times to many owners, right, your Airbnb cleaners can make or break your business. You know, we've probably heard horror stories before, and pretty much, to be fair, you speak to 50% of more operators around the world, they will say you times when, you know, either linen has been let down or cleaning companies let down if they work separately, right? Or, you know, sometimes guests have checked in and the cleaners hasn't been there. Numbers of different issues, and to solve that issue, you've got to come into a market with a great structure and systems and processes for Airbnb owner. Because look, guys, later on in the video, I'm going to exactly tell you how to find them, but it's your job to be able to say, hey, look, we're going to give you the best service, the best fees, and the best delivery for the guest, and obviously for the property owners. Now, what is an Airbnb cleaning company? So effectively, as you go into Airbnb today, there's probably 95% of Airbnb right now in your investment area that is using cleaners, right? External cleaners. Now, the external cleaners, how it works is they will only come in and clean the property when the landlord have a guest who stayed in the property. Obviously, they've stayed maybe 1 night, 2 nights if they stayed longer, but there's a way that property owners have their checkout and they want their cleaners to come in. Now, one of the biggest things I've learned about Airbnb cleaning companies is flexibility, because sometimes if you think about it, sometimes a property owner will have a last minute booking, which means they've literally got a booking today for 2 nights, which means they're going to let you know today that, hey, we've had a booking and I need a clean 2 nights later, you know, the guest's going to check out next month. So the flexibility, sometimes you as a cleaning company might have already booked a session somewhere, which means you might not be able to come in and do it. So this is something I found it very challenging, as, you know, speaking to many operators as possible, that how do they manage it? Do they like to work with independent companies? Do they prefer to pay more and work with a group of cleaning companies? Because then that way they're obviously in a safer hand. They know that if someone lets them down, they've got their staff to come in. Or worse come worse, if they're working with 2 independent companies, they know if one can't do it, the other company can. But the fact that this is where you've got to be a little bit more flexible, because once you have a method, process, and I am more than happy to give you a checklist on this video on the cleaning process that an Airbnb owners want you to go through. Now, if you've got a good speed of work and you realize that, you know, the minor details that many cleaners and housekeeping team don't go through is in this checklist, you're always going to succeed over and you know, the Airbnb owners are willing to pay you the extra £5 or the $5 per turnover. So without further ado, let's now look at where to find this Airbnb owners who need your help. So in Airbnb right now, if you go to Airbnb and you scroll down, you will see there's loads of listings. The one that you want to go with is the one that says new, because there are new operators. Now sometimes it could be new property only rather than an operator, so you can go and check out their listing, but you'll see there the word new. Now if you go into their profile and they've only got one property, they're willing, or they are probably still looking for a potential good cleaner to work with for their Airbnb property. It's the best way to find it, right, in your investment area, or at least surrounding that 5 or 10 mile radius, because you know, if you're looking to start and you're flexible, you're working, you know, for a small scale for now, you only need a 5 or 10 or 15 properties to come and work with you, and you will see the amount of, like, you know, if you know, like the guy who I spoke about, Cambridge, if they've got a lot of turnover and that's the way the business works, you are bound to make a lot of money, right? So that is probably the process one, which is the easiest process to take, alongside having a good website, obviously having a great social media presence, which you guys can do in your free time. Now look, how do you make this a success? Because a lot of time I sit down here looking at different part and ecosystem in like a short-term rental and Airbnb business, and one of the things I've realized that you as a cleaning or housekeeping company have got the most power for an Airbnb operator to do well, because at the end of the day, the horror story goes back to, if you guys don't do the great clean and a guest is going to complain to say, hey, there's a hair in the bed, you know, the likely chances are the Airbnb host is going to lose money. At the same time, if you're a great cleaner, the property owners is going to make sure that they will pay you what you ask for. So to make a success, I think the checklist that I'm going to give you is more around the detail of Airbnb cleaners. It's nothing to do with go and just tidy up the property and the apartment or the house. It's the details that 90% of cleaning company misses, and hence why an Airbnb owner have problems with their guests, and more importantly end up returning some or refunding some of the money. Now guys, I think this was a very short video about how to start an Airbnb business in 2024. Especially, look, I would say this to you today, I talk to hundreds and hundreds of operators and they all work with cleaning companies, and my realization is there's only 10% of great cleaning companies and 90% of them are really letting out Airbnb owners. Great marketplace to be in, great service, and great cleaning fee and charges to put in place for your business. And you know, if you work with a couple of different owners around your location, you're there for a win. So thank you so much. If you're new to this channel and you just understood about Airbnb cleaning companies, I do a lot of video around Airbnb owners and how they work, how they operate. You really have a great opportunity to work with owners, right? Please connect with us. Make sure you ask me questions. On the description down below, you have a free guide, the detail guide I said that you need. Make sure you download this. And look, if you've got any question, there's a WhatsApp that you can contact me and the team. There's a Calendar link down below if you want to book a call with myself. Let's make sure we connect. Let's make sure you're hitting that subscribe button, and I'll be back with another video soon.